Okay, right, Stephen, we've finished the warm-up, so what we're going to do is going to move into the aerobic curve. So if you'd just like to follow me, this is the cardiovascular section of your workout, so it's the area that's going to improve your cardiovascular fitness. We're going to use the treadmill. I'll just quickly give you a demonstration. So, just like to stand to the front here so you can see what I'm doing. What I'm going to do is we always stand on from the side of the treadmill. We've got a clip here that we can use for safety, but I'm going to stay in the front of the treadmill to make sure I'm safe, and I've got an emergency stop button here. So if I need to stop the machine at any time, I just press that button and it'll take it to a stop. So first of all, I'm going to press the quick start and it will give us a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and then I'll take it into the walking pace from there. Starts very slow at 0.8 kilometers per hour, so I can use the speed button here, or I can set up the speed accordingly from here as well. So I'm just going to press the 5 kilometers per hour. Keep to the front of the treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward, land on the heel and taking off through the toe with a natural swing of the arms, okay? Always keep to the front of the treadmill, and if we want to, we can make it faster using the speed function from here and take it into a jog, okay? Again, if you're going to run on the treadmill, keep to the front of the treadmill, landing on the heel and taking off with the toe, keeping your eye line forward and chest lifted, okay? From there, if you want to stop, emergency stop button is here, or we can take it into the end function from there and slow down into a walk, okay? So if you need to balance at any time, use the handles around you, okay? So when it comes to a complete stop, we can step off the machine, okay? So I want you to just step up onto here, and we're going to get ourselves ready for the session, okay? So all I want you to do is, first of all, is just press that quick start, and then once it starts to move, just bear 1 second, yep, there we go. So 3, 2, 1, and then just take it into a walk from there. Now, first of all, just press the speed button, the 0, and then press 5, 0, and enter. Okay, so now that's going to accelerate it up to a normal pace, a normal walking pace. Your time is here counting up, okay, and this is your speed here. Now, we want to gradually take your heart rate up over the next few minutes into a heart rate zone of about 140 area, okay? So, I want to take that speed up to about 8 kilometers per hour. We'll take it into a jogging speed, about 7.5, 8, okay? There we go. And your heart rate is here. So keep to the front of the treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward, nice lengthy stride, taking off through the toe, land on the heel. That's great, okay? So, time is here counting up, heart rate's here. As I said, we want to achieve a heart rate over the next couple of minutes of about 140 area, okay? And then gradually we'll take that up, and we're going to work you up to about 150, 155 heart rate, bit by bit, okay? So, again, just stay to the front of the treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward, nice and light landing action, land on the heel, that's great, okay? So, now, we've been currently going for about a minute. We're going to do 5 minutes on this build-up phase, which is going to prepare you for the aerobic curve peak phase, okay? That's the more challenging section. How would you say you currently feel on your RPE chart? About 1. About a 1, okay, so the heart rate's coming up towards the zone we want it to, but bit by bit we're going to increase that through, okay? So, now remember your RPE chart, your rate of perceived exertion, is how hard you perceive the exercise to be. 0 is absolute, sat down at home watching TV, nice and easy, okay? Whereas 10 is absolute failure, alright? So during the middle section of that, around the 5 to 6 area, it should feel challenging, possibly more uncomfortable as we get up to around 7, and getting hard work at 8, and not sustainable much beyond that, okay? So again, just keep to the front of the treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward, that's great. Okay, so remember the emergency stop button is here in front of you. If you need to use it, then do so. Heart rate is reaching that 140 area, okay, so that's fine. What we're going to do is we can increase the speed to take it into a little bit faster. I want you to take that speed up to about 8.3 for me, so just 3 up to there, that's great, okay? So after 5 minutes, we're going to be moving into the peak phase, okay? So the peak phase is the more challenging section. It's the area that's going to improve your cardiovascular fitness, okay? So we're coming up to about 3 minutes. Your heart rate is just hovering about that 140, so that's fine there, okay? So we're going to gradually take this heart rate up over the next 2 minutes, up to about 155 area, okay? So it'll be a little bit more challenging. How would you say you currently feel on your RPE charts? About a 3. About a 3, that's fine, that's okay there, okay? So, Now, if we want to, we can use an incline function on here, which is here. This will take the treadmill uphill, okay? So we can make it harder by running faster, or we can make it harder by running uphill, okay? So what we'll do is we'll take your incline setting just up a little bit for me. So if you press the incline up twice, and we'll take it to a 2% gradient, okay? That's great. So that should have a bearing on your heart rate increasing a little bit from there, okay? I want to also take your speed up to 8.6 for me. That's great. That's fine. About there, that's fine. Excellent. Again, keep to the front of the treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward. Excellent. Land on the heel, taking off through the toe. Brilliant. That's great. Okay, so your heart rate is again increasing 145 area. We've got another minute in this section, okay, 1 more minute, and we're going to be moving into the peak phase, okay. So the peak phase is the more challenging section. We're expecting your heart rate and breathing rate to go up, but you should be able to control at any time. Remember, if you need to stop at any time, press the emergency stop button, or if you need to, you can always slow it down, okay. That's great. So we're coming up to about 4.5 minutes. Again, how would you say you currently feel on your RPE? About 3.5? That's fine, that's okay from there. So our heart rate's reaching the area we want it to be. We're going to be moving into the peak very shortly, okay? Brilliant. So, I want you to just take that speed up. Would you prefer to use speed, or would you prefer to use the gradient speed? You prefer to go through speed, okay. So, what we're going to do, we're going to move into the peak, so you're at 5 minutes now, and to take the speed up to about 9.2 for me, okay? And during this section here, we're going to take your heart rate up to about 80% area, okay? 80% of your maximum heart rate is around 170 beats per minute, okay? So we're looking for an increase of around another 14 beats. On here, it's a maximum of about 172 we're looking for, ideally, okay? So, this section is 10 minutes in duration, okay, so it's the longest stage of our aerobic curve, and then once we've done this 10 minutes, we're going to taper it back down into the cool down, okay? Again, keep to the front of a treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward, nice limpy strides, excellent, okay? So we're just coming up towards the end of the first minute, heart rate is increasing, that's fine. How would you say you currently feel on your RPE? About number 4? Okay, that's fine. So somewhat harder than that. Excellent. So what types of sports do you generally play?
I do boxing.
Boxing? Right. And how often do you do that?
4 times a week.
Brilliant. Okay, that's great. Alright. Excellent. So 1 minute gone. We're going to be doing, as I said, a 10-minute period on here. Heart rate's 160 area. So what we'll do is we'll just creep it up a little bit. If you want to take your speed up to about 9.4, 9.5. Excellent. Okay. Again, keep to the front of the treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward, natural swing of the arms. Try and be as light as you can, landing on the heel and taking off through the toe. Excellent. Okay. So, would you say your boxing is hard work then?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah? Challenging?
Yeah.
And do you do much competition, or is it just sparring?
I do competition as well.
Competition is excellent, brilliant. Have you got one coming up?
Yeah, probably about 3 months.
About 3 months. Excellent. So time to train for it. So lots of time to get this cardiovascular section of your training to have an emphasis onto there as well. Okay, remember obviously the cardiovascular fitness benefits that you're going to be gaining from this. You're going to improve your heart and lung function, improve your cardiovascular fitness in your endurance. That should have a bearing on your boxing to go through the rounds as well. Okay, so we'll be able to perform all 12 rounds, hopefully 3 minutes, only 1 minute recovery, and you'll be able to perform those latter stages more effectively than your opponent. Okay, so let's take your heart rate slightly up from there. So let's take the speed up to about 9.6. About a 6. Okay, great. Okay. Brilliant. So again, just keep to the front of the treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward, nice light landing action, taking off through the toe. Excellent. Okay. So now we advise that you train cardiovascularly about 3 times a week. This is the ACSM guidelines, okay? The American College of Sports Medicine, they state what benefits, where the intensities are, the amount of time that we should be working to actually get the benefit of cardiovascular exercise. So that's 3 times a week, I advise, and we're going to do 20 to 60 minutes. So that's why this is a 20-minute aerobic curve, okay? So 20-minute aerobic curve, and we can progress it up from there. So the intensity that you want to work at is around 55 to 95, so it's a large range of heart rates. You're working at around an 80% heart rate, which is what we're looking for, okay? So how would you say you currently feel on your RPE?
About 6.5.
About 6.5, that's fine then. So, alright, so again, halfway through this peak phase, 10 minutes in, that's good. Again, keep to the front of a treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward, nice light landing action through the top, okay? So, now, is there any other sports that you generally play?
Do grappling as well.
Grappling as well, so all really martial arts based?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Good, good. So again, grappling will have a cardiovascular benefit to it, but more strength based. We're going to be moving on to your strength workout later on, which will have more of an impact on that side, okay? Obviously, the boxing side, you need to be strong, but you also need to have that cardiovascular fitness to last through the rounds as you go through those bouts, okay? So, heart rate is looking around, settled around that 165 to 170, it keeps on popping up there, that's fine. We're coming up to around 11-minute period, okay? So that's 6 minutes into this peak, so we've got 4 more minutes remaining, okay? Excellent. So as I said earlier on, ACSM guidelines, 3 times a week, 20 to 60 minutes, around this type of intensity, challenging intensity that's going to improve your cardiovascular fitness. It's going to aid to improve your fitness, reduce the risk of health issues associated with being obese as well. So you've also got your ability to bring your blood pressure down as well with as we do cardiovascular exercise, which will also help to improve our cardiovascular fitness. Okay. So 3.5 minutes remaining on here. How would you say you currently feel on your RPE?
About 7.
About a 7, okay, that's fine, okay. So, again, I just want you to make sure you stay to the front. I want you to land a little bit lighter if you can and roll from your heel through the toe. That's great, okay. So your speed at the moment is about 9.7. We've got a gradient on here as well, which does take it slightly uphill. Now, the benefit of using a 2% gradient on the treadmill makes it more like running outside, more natural to running outside, okay? Running action outside, you need to push, whereas on a treadmill, it's more of a landing action. So using that 2% does make it more similar to outside running, okay? So, heart rate's bobbing around the air we want to, that's great, okay? So, how would you say you currently feel again on your RPE?
About 7 still.
About 7, okay, that's fine, okay? Now obviously this 20-minute aerobic curve, we can progress it in the future as you improve your fitness, okay? So currently we're doing a 5-minute warm-up, a 10-minute peak phase, and then a 5-minute cool-down. We could advance it and progress it by taking it into a 3-minute build-up, and then taking it into a 3-minute cool-down at the end, and that will extend your peak phase to 14 minutes, okay? We can also increase your whole length of time for the aerobic curve as well. So instead of doing a 20-minute aerobic curve, as the SSM guidelines state, 20 minutes is our minimum, 60 minutes is our maximum, so we could increase the actual length of time anywhere from that 20 upwards to 60, okay? It does depend on what your range and goals are from your training, okay? You also can do the aerobic curve at on any of the cardiovascular machines. So if you wanted to use a rower, a bike, a cross trainer, the arcs, then you can do so, okay? So you can vary it up and use different things. Okay, so we've got another few minutes left on here. We're currently at around 8.5 minutes, so 1.5 more minutes remaining, okay? How would you say you currently feel on your RPE? About 7.5, that's fine. Heart rate's around where we expect it and really want it to be, okay? Breathing rate looks okay, you're in control. Remember, at any time you're not, that you can always use that stop button, okay? That's great. So, just over a minute remaining, and then we're going to be moving into the cool down phase, okay? So, feeling comfortable. If you want to take the speed up slightly, then we can do, so we can take it up just to about 9.8, 9.9, excellent. Heart rate's in the area we want it to be. You're in control, you can communicate quite well with yourself, so we know we can take that heart rate slightly up, okay? So that's brilliant. So 50 seconds left. Again, keep to the front of the treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward. Really well done on this section. Remember, if you're doing this regularly through the week, then you're going to get these benefits that I talked about for cardiovascular fitness. It will have a knock-on effect to your boxing, okay? The ability to go through those rounds, okay? So another 30 seconds. Again, keep to the front of the treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward. Nice light landing action. Try to land more on the heel and stride, rolling through the toe. Excellent, okay. So 20 more seconds, heart rate where we want it to be, about there. That's really good, okay. So last 10 seconds. That's good now, Stephen. Okay, so last few seconds, and we're going to take it down into the cool down. So once you just take that speed down to about 8 kilometers per hour, about 8.5, 8. Again, keep to the front of a treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward. So it's a 5-minute cool down now, allowing you to bring your heart rate and breathing rate down to a more stable level, more of a heart rate that you would have started off from, okay? So we're going to take this through to 20 minutes to complete, okay? How do you say you currently feel on your RPE?
About 5.
About a 5, that's fine, okay? So we're going to gradually take your heart rate down from the 80% that we were working at, okay? We're going to take it back down to about 60, possibly a little bit lower than that as well, okay, over the next few minutes. The idea of the cool down is to recover, okay, so if you don't feel like you're recovering over this section, do let me know, do take that higher, take the speed down a little bit. We want to do it gradually, bit by bit, okay. Now, so by doing this cool down, we're going to return you back to a normal state. We're going to bring the heart rate down, the breathing rate down. We're also going to avoid something what we call blood pooling, okay? So if you were to get off a treadmill right now, your heart rate would plummet down, but the circulatory system stays open. It means that the blood stays in the legs and you can feel a little bit dizzy, okay? And it can cause people to pass out. So by doing this cool down phase, we can revert the heart rate back to a normal level, take the circulatory levels back down, and it means that your blood will return to the upper extremities of the body easily, okay? So it's just for safety purposes as well. Let's take that speed down again. I want you to take it down to about 7.5 for me. Yep, that's good. And we can try to bring that heart rate down a little bit more than where we're currently at, okay? Again, how would you say you currently feel on your RPE? About 4.5, that's great. So we're just tapering it down bit by bit, okay? So, now, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be moving into your strength session, okay? So we're going to be going onto some of the resistance machines, and we're going to be using some of the free weights, okay? And this final section would help to improve your overall strength, which will obviously have a bigger effect on the strength benefits that you need for your boxing and grappling that you do, okay? That's great. So again, try to lighten your action. I want you to land on the heel and take off with it. So I want you to take that speed down for me to about a 7.2 area. That's great. Okay. And also we'll take your gradient down to 1. So if you just take the foot and press that down, that's good. Again, just try to lighten your landing action. Okay. That's great. So another 2.5 minutes on this latter section, the cool down section. Again, keep to the front of the treadmill, chest lifted, eye line forward, nice left knee stride. Excellent, okay. So heart rate is here, time is here as you can see, and the speed that we've got from here. We could use a cool down function from here as well. The cool down function on the screen does bring in an automatic cool down, but sometimes it can be too much of a taper than what we're looking for, okay? We're looking to bring that heart rate down a little bit more over the next 2 minutes. So I want you to take the speed down to about 6.6 and take it into a fast walk for me. So just brisk walking, that's great. So the last 2 minutes we're just going to take it back down, bit by bit, and bring that heart rate down. So the heart rate that we're looking to achieve on this section, by the end of it, is probably around the 140 marker, okay? We can take it a little bit lower possibly as well, okay? Again, how do you feel?
Fine.
Brilliant, okay. So, okay on your RPE chart? About number 3, that's fine. Excellent, okay. So, 1.5 minutes remaining, and then we'll take it into that section on your strength, okay? So, what area of your training do you most enjoy then? Within training in the gym, do you like the cardiovascular exercise or do you prefer your resistance training? Resistance training, okay. And your experience with free weights as well? Yeah, good, okay. So, 1 more minute left on here, and then we'll take it into the next section, okay? So as you can see, your heart rate's come down to that 140 marker. That's showing that you've got good cardiovascular fitness because your heart rate is coming down relatively well. If your heart rate stays up after exercise, then that's not necessarily a good sign of cardiovascular fitness. Recovery levels not being so well, okay? So final 40 seconds remaining on here. Again, keep to the front of a treadmill. Excellent, okay? Okay, so final 30 seconds. When we finish on here, what I'm going to advise is that you would basically stop on the machine and just have a look around you, okay? When you get off a treadmill, sometimes you can feel a little bit disorientated down to the fact that you've been running and everything was staying still around you. When you get off the machine, everything's going to be moving, okay? So you can feel a little bit disorientated, as I said. So we're going to take this down now, and all I want to do is just press the pause and buttons twice for me, and keep to the front of the treadmill until it stops. Excellent, okay. So just want to stop from there, just have a quick look around you, okay? And then when you're ready, we'll take yourself off and you can get a quick drink before we move into your strength session.